The Young and the Restless spoilers full Tuesday recap, the 30th of June 2026. Welcome back to our channel, fellow Genoa City gossips. Today is a beautiful, drama-filled day to dive deep into the absolute chaos unfolding on our screens. We are serving up all the latest tea, tears, and tantrums from the most dramatic town on television. Grab your favorite snack, settle in, and let's get right into this wild ride because we have so much to unpack. Oh my God. I'm literally vibrating with rage and excitement right now. I cannot believe what I just watched, and I am typing this up at 2 a.m. because I absolutely cannot sleep until I get these thoughts out of my system. Are we seriously doing this? Are the writers actually letting these characters get away with this level of absolute insanity? Because my jaw is permanently attached to the floor after this week's episode. I have been watching this show for years and years, and I have never, ever seen a week so packed with unhinged behavior, despicable betrayals, and just downright terrifying situations. Let's just jump right into the deep end because my brain is spinning and I need to vent to people who actually understand this madness. And let us start with the absolute most despicable thing happening right now. Victor Newman. I'm sorry, but Victor has officially crossed the line that I don't think he can ever come back from. Remember when he used to just manipulate businesses and play corporate chess? Yeah, didn't work out perfectly then either, but those were the good old days. Now he is literally looting his dying wife's estate. I can't even process the level of evil here. Nikki is lying in a hospital bed, absolutely terrified, suffering from these blinding, agonizing headaches. And what does her loving husband do? He tricks her into signing a fake medical power of attorney that actually transfers all her Newman Enterprises shares into a trust HE controls. He is liquidating her assets while she is heavily sedated. It is pure, unadulterated financial abuse. And I am screaming at my television every time his smug face appears on screen. But wait, it gets so much worse. Because now, Nikki has actually lost her vision. Yes, her vision just completely disappears. She wakes up in the hospital and everything is pitch black. Imagine the panic, the sheer terror of waking up and not being able to see anything, waiting desperately for this hotshot surgeon from New York who hasn't even arrived yet. It is a race against time for this surgery, and there is Victor, standing by her bed, playing the devoted husband while he is secretly robbing her blind. Victoria is already catching on, and thank God for that. Nikki is in an absolute panic, but even in her terrified, blind state, she wants absolutely nothing to do with Victor right now. She can feel the toxic energy. She doesn't even know the half of his betrayal yet, but her instincts are screaming at her to push him away. And honestly, good for her. Victor's actually sitting there reconsidering if he even has a future with Nikki because she's pushing him away. Are you kidding me? You are stealing from her. Victor, of course you don't have a future. So let's pivot to the other massive hostage situation happening right now, because apparently half of Genoa City is being held against their will this week. Diane Jenkins Abbott. Okay, I know Diane has a massive history. I know some people are loving seeing her suffer because she faked her own death and has manipulated half the town in the past. But personally, nobody deserves what is happening to her right now. She is locked in a barred room, being completely gaslit by Dr. Lawrence Markham. And let's be real, we all know Markham is probably Martin Laurent with a surgically altered face, right? The books by Dr. Alan Laurent in her room, the creepy, calm demeanor, it has Martin written all over it, and it is terrifying. And Diane is actually playing it so smart. I kind of love this for her. Instead of just screaming and crying and playing the helpless victim, she is playing the long game. She is pretending to buy into Dr. Markham's twisted narrative that she had a severe mental breakdown. She's acting docile, nodding along, making him think he has completely broken her spirit. But secretly, she is hoarding these mild sedatives he's giving her. She's stashing them away, planning a desperate escape to drug him and get the hell out of there. It is brilliant. It is classic Diane survival mode. But because the sedatives are so incredibly mild, she has to collect a ton of them, which means she has to stay in this terrifying situation even longer, playing this agonizing waiting game. I am literally on the edge of my seat praying she gets enough pills before he realizes what she is doing. Meanwhile, Jack Abbott is out here playing the most dangerous, sickening game of cat and mouse with Patty Williams. Patty Williams, y'all, the woman who poisoned Summer, the woman who has been dangerously obsessed with Jack for decades. She is the one funding Dr. Markham, and she showed Jack that horrifying staged photo of Diane unconscious in a padded cell. And her demand, she wants Jack to sleep with her. She wants to recreate their magic from the yacht. I am literally gagging just typing that. It is so gross, so manipulative, and Jack is desperate enough that he is actually risking his life and his sanity entertaining this sick game to find out where Diane is. He is playing with fire, and Patty's dangerous obsession is only escalating. She is completely delusional, and Jack thinks he can outsmart her. Yeah, right. Remember when he tried to handle Patty before? It always ends in disaster. But, like, what is Kyle doing during all of this? Kyle is planning this grand rescue mission, but Jack and Billy are totally doubting him, and honestly, they should. Kyle is way too hot-headed and emotional for a delicate hostage extraction. He thinks he can just storm in and save the day, but he doesn't even know the psychological warfare he's up against. And sure enough, by Friday, Kyle's rescue mission hits a massive roadblock. I bet Patty sets a trap, or Markham moves Diane to another location. Kyle and Tracy are pacing the floors, terrified of Patty's next move, and the whole Abbott family is starting to fear the absolute worst. Tracy is the only one who has ever been able to somewhat handle Patty using her psychological tricks, but Patty is so far gone right now, I don't think anyone can control her narrative. Okay, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to talk about Jill Abbott. First of all, Lauren Koslow stepping in to play Jill temporarily. Iconic. I am absolutely here for it. She brings this incredible, fierce, take no prisoners energy that is just perfect for Jill. And boy, does she make an entrance. She blows back into Genoa City like a hurricane and immediately corners Billy and Kane Ashby, forcing them into this intense, high-stakes confrontation about their massive, messy issues. Kane is out here trying to blackmail Lily into giving him Chancellor Winters just because he's a bone marrow match for Malcolm, which is a whole other level of toxic extortion. Jill is not having a single second of it. She is laying down the law, and I am cheering at my screen. But Billy, oh my God, Billy Abbott, I cannot defend this man anymore. I'm officially done with him. After everything Sally Spectre has been through, the horrific car crash in the rain, losing her second baby, the absolute devastation of that miscarriage just a couple of months ago, what does Billy do? He sabotages her company. He sabotages Sally's company. Are you kidding me? I am so furious I could throw my remote. I mean, Sally was already terrified of having a baby with him because of Jill's constant interference and his endless cycle of instability. And he just proves her right. He completely destroys her professional life right when she is at her lowest personal point. I know they had that whole paternity doubt drama where Jill got into Billy's head, but to go after her business, that is cold. That is cruel. That is classic destructive Billy Abbott. Sally is definitely going to dump him. And honestly, good riddance. She needs to pack her bags, take Audra with her, and start fresh because Billy is a walking disaster zone. He destroys everything he touches. He is basically saying goodbye to Sally forever with this move. And he has nobody to blame but himself. And speaking of people who absolutely never change, let's talk about Matt Clark. Why is he still at the Newman Ranch? Victor moving him there to spy on Kane is the most convoluted, ridiculous plot device, and it is actively traumatizing Sharon. But at least Nick and Noah are finally confronting him. Nick, who literally almost died from a fentanyl overdose because of Matt's sick games in Vegas, is standing face to face with this monster. Matt is still playing the, oh, I have amnesia, I don't remember being a psychopath card, acting like he's just this innocent guy who doesn't understand why everyone hates him. But Nick and Noah are not buying a single second of it. They are clashing with him hard, and the tension is palpable. You can see the absolute rage in Nick's eyes. He wants to tear Matt apart, but he's stuck in this bizarre psychological standoff because of this fake amnesia nonsense. Nick and Noah flat out refuse to believe that Matt has changed. They know exactly who he is. I really hope Nick doesn't relapse over this stress because the pressure is immense. Noah is right there trying to support his dad and protect his mom, and the whole dynamic is explosive. I am just waiting for Matt to slip up and reveal that he remembers everything, because we all know he does. He is just biding his time, waiting to strike again. Finally, we have this quiet little subplot happening with Stephanie Simmons and Nate Hastings. They are having this deep discussion about his past, and you just know this is leading back to the massive bombshell about Malcolm being Holden's father. Stephanie has been holding on to this secret for years, and Nate is still processing what it means for his family dynamic and his connection to Olivia. It's a nice breather from the hostage situations and the corporate sabotage, but it's still fraught with all this heavy emotional baggage. The Winters family legacy is just constantly shifting, and I'm really curious to see how Nate handles this moving forward, especially with Kane sniffing around trying to steal the company. Okay, back to the main point before I wrap up this massive rant. The overarching theme of this week is just sheer, unadulterated desperation. Victor is desperate for financial control. Jack is desperate to save Diane. Diane is desperate to escape her padded prison. And Billy is just desperately trying to ruin his own life because he doesn't know how to be happy. I know some people are loving this dark, gritty turn the show is taking, but personally, my heart can't take much more of Nikki and Sally's suffering. They need a win. We need someone to actually outsmart Victor for once. And we absolutely need Diane to drug Markham and walk out of that house like the boss she is. Until then, I'll be here, screaming at my television, typing in all caps, and waiting for the next episode. What a week, guys. What an absolutely exhausting, thrilling, infuriating week.